Hello, and welcome to RIME Entertainment Showcase with your hosts, Rita and Mel.
So we'd like to welcome director JR Poli and lead actor of Marcus, Owen Miller, to RIME Entertainment Showcase, Paris International Film Festival Special. Welcome both to the show.
Welcome.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate.
Thank you both
Glad
very
to be
much.
here.
Appreciate you having us.
Thank you. First of all, congratulations
Indeed.
on being selected. How does it feel?
It's great because we have this started off as a short and now it's a feature, and between the two we've never played in France at all. So this is the first time ever having a film in France, which is really good. And the whole staff over there, Jenna and everybody involved, has been so supportive. So I'm very, very excited about this.
Great
Amazing.
news. And what about you, Owen? How's it feel?
Oh God, tickled. We have an amazing project here in Marcus, and any opportunity to get eyes on this film is important for so many reasons. From an artistic standpoint, it's important, but the subject matter especially, and to have it play here in the States and to play in Europe and all over the world is our goal, because the subject matter is that important and that crucial. And so as many eyes as we can get on this film, it's wonderful. So yeah, it's amazing. It's great.
Amazing. Yeah, well, just as inspired again, just by the film itself. So again, another congrats to you both on this project. So, you've mentioned already about the important subjects about the film. Can you tell us, tell the viewers a bit more about the story of Marcus?
Yeah, Marcus is all about a man struggling with mental health. Uh, Depression mostly, and it's basically his battle with how he's going about life, and the people he loves and his friendships, and how basically he speaks to people and how people speak to him. And it just puts you in the shoes of a man's journey who's dealing with something so many people in this world are dealing with. And I want to say it's as raw as it could be. I truly hope that somebody can come out and make a movie even more raw than this, just to show the importance and how serious it is. But it's 100% from factual circumstances and situations.
Yeah. How important was it for you to make it so raw?
Extremely important, because I personally suffer from depression. And when I wrote this a few years ago as a short, it was based on my experiences where I was at 2 in the morning, found myself in the shower and about to do something I didn't really want to do. But I was in such a bad state of mind. And my daughter at the time, at 6 years old, went ahead and screamed out to my wife, and kind of knocked me out of that. So I came out of the shower and literally wrote this short within an hour, and that circulated the festival world, and we decided, you know what, let's expand this, let's make this into a feature. But yeah, it was all it's just so where I was mentally at that moment, and then while I was writing it, I got in touch with 5 friends, families they all had committed suicide over the years. So I got in touch with their girlfriends or their parents and find out what situations they were in, what they were talking about, how they were dealing with it, how were the families dealing with them, knowing what they were going through, if they knew at all, or if they just shrugged it off and made it seem like it was just something like a phase they were going through.
Yeah.
So I kind of combined all these stories into the featured version of Marcus.
Yeah.
Did you find that it helped you with what you were going through as you were writing it, and also exploring and speaking to others in your
It did not.
journey?
It did not. It at times it made it worse. While writing it, it put me into spots where I didn't want to be, because I didn't know if I was going to come out of it. While we were editing it, just watching Owen's amazing performance in this role, and seeing the feeling and all the emotions right there in his face, that put me into deep holes at a time where for a week I'd be just in a bad state.
Yeah.
And thankfully my wife was, knows and handles me very well, and she was ready. Every time I came out of the editing suite, she'd be like, all right, let's go to a ball game, or let's go to the movies, let's watch a comedy. She was ready to take me out very quickly.
Yeah. No, it's good to know again, that you've got that support there that was able to bring you out of that, because it's very easy, when you are creating something that's so emotional and something that you're so personally connected with, you will need to break that balance just to help you get through the journey. But thank you for sharing that story with us. Owen, for yourself, reading the script and kind of getting into that role, what was the journey like for yourself, getting to know this character of Marcus?
So that too was fascinating. JR did not know, at least I don't think he did, that I had my personal journey with depression. Some 23 years prior, I found myself in an incredibly difficult place where I didn't expect to be. I'd lost everything that mattered to me, and indeed friends as well, support systems and all of that. And I too was brought to that place where I was considering ending it. It became a daily consideration. And interestingly, for when we have more time, that's another story, how acting saved me, literally. But when JR called me and pitched the story to me, I saw myself involved immediately for three reasons. One, I have a profound love and respect for this man. He's just incredibly talented, and he's one of those directors, writers that that when he puts something together, he's going to put his whole heart and soul into it. And so because I'm of the same mindset, when you're collaborating with people of like mind, you're going to end up with something great. But the second reason that I had to do this was because again, my journey was such a painful one, and I almost didn't make it. And as JR pitched the story to me, even before I read the script, I was getting chills all over. I recognized not this man's journey, but I recognized his pain. And that was incredible. And then the third reason I absolutely had to do it is because, again, related to the second, when you have that kind of pain, and now you multiply that by millions, people all over the world who are going through this, and going through this oftentimes silently and alone because of the stigma associated with mental illness. Then you realize that you have a duty to use your craft to help tell the story. You use your craft to help bring an awareness to this plight that so many are dealing with. So in preparation for this role, it was mostly me accessing painful memories and experiences that, like JR, I preferred not to, but I knew that it was for the greater good. It was very, very painful to go back to some of those places to really make Marcus real and believable, but it was absolutely well worth it.
Yeah. And how did you deal with that? Because did you have that support?
Yes. I have an amazing family. I have a wife that has supported me in my acting career from the get-go, and indeed in my personal struggles. I'm happy to say that those struggles are not as remotely where they were 23 years ago, but the memory of them and the realness of them is forever there. And so when you encounter someone, like we had a screening, and a gentleman came up to me afterward, and as he shook my hand, he was suffering from PTSD. He held on to my hand, he would not let go, and he was squeezing it and didn't even realize how hard he was squeezing my hand, but he was expressing how grateful he was, and he had tears in his eyes, how grateful he was for the film and the fact that we have made this movie and tried to get the world to pay attention to what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. And again, like you said, the world does need to pay attention to. There's so many people that are suffering silently, and especially with men as well. It's like the image, oh, I don't suffer from depression, I don't have a mental health issue. And the more we create this, the more we bring people's attention to it, the more we can actually heal together as both male and female, so we can move forward in this. So again, thank
Yeah,
you,
thank you
Owen,
to you
for
both.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's amazing.
So on set, I mean, what was the most memorable moments as you were making this film for both of you?
I would say my most memorable moment would be the hospital scene. That's gotta be it. There were a couple of long shots that we had to block out with the steady cam and have all the actors on point and have everything in the right moment. And it's something I hadn't really done in my filmmaking experience. I've usually, coverage guy and getting different angles and whatnot. I said, this moment has to be told in one long shot because I want the audience to be in that moment. I don't want them to be anywhere else. And I remember afterwards telling Owen, I went up to his face and I said, listen, you write something and you have this, image in your mind, and never what you get on camera actually meets what's in your mind, because your mind creates certain things that just are not, capable. You're not capable of getting. And it's one of the few times that I looked at him and I looked at Katana, who's our other actor, our lead actress, and I said, that's probably the one time you've exceeded what I pictured. Like what I got was actually, it surpassed my imagination, and it was phenomenal. Probably, it's not just on this set, it's any of my sets. It's probably my favorite moment.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. How about yourself, Owen?
For me, like JR, that was very special. But there's a moment in the film where I have to try to explain to my estranged daughter that I'm trying to reconnect with, the whys of my behavior and all of that. And it's a very humbling, embarrassing moment because it's not who I am or who I was. But yet I was brought down so low that I would so harm those that I loved. And I'm trying to explain this to her. And I remember every time we did a take, I just remember the pain I felt, because I can imagine a father, a real father, having to try to say, forgive me, I did not mean any of that, and genuinely feeling that pain and just hoping that that could be the opening of the door to reestablish in a relationship. So that for me was like one of my most special moments, just trying to reconnect with my daughter. And it was so real. It was just, I still feel it.
Yeah, definitely.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It sounds, just from speaking to you both, that you've created almost like this family unit while making making this film. Do you feel that? Have you taken like special bonds and that connection since making the film?
Yeah, well, Owen and I go back to 2002, where he first auditioned for me, and it was quite a while ago. So we've been family since. I mean, we've worked together many times. So this is the reason why when I wrote this, I didn't even take it to another actor. I didn't even call. And if he would have refused, I would have probably forced him. I would have said, you're gonna have to do this. But yeah, we were already family, and the crew on set, for like 99% they're the same people I've been working with since 2002 as well. So we've all been a big family. Katana was new to the family, but she's since become our family, and she's constantly talking to us, and we're constantly helping each other out. And yeah, without a doubt, I mean, these are people that I will never, wish harm on. These are people that I can call in the middle of the night when I'm in a dire situation, and they will be there without even hesitation.
Yeah, great. Because I think that's important, definitely.
Yeah, I was just going to say, in life's journey, and of course, because this is a huge part of ours, when you meet people who are not only serious about their craft, but are really good people at heart, you may have been brought together by a specific objective, but when you come out of it with that relationship, those relationships last, and then you move forward together to the next one and the next, and because you have those things in common, the craft, but you have the dedication, and then you have the bond, the love for each other. Yeah, then those relationships, they continue.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's great. Again, it's brilliant just to see. I mean, we're all virtual, but we can already feel the love between that connection. and it's, you know, what we see on screen compared to just what we have this discussion virtually. It's just amazing. You can really feel that great energy between yourselves, and yeah, I like that. It just, yeah, warm fuzzy feelings is great. So you mentioned, JR, that there are some other projects that you're all working on together. Can you talk to us about those next projects?
Yeah, they're taking me away from mental depression and being depressed. I made it more lively. I've got a little action comedy slash, you know, thriller thing. I say it's very John Wick meets Dexter. So that's one thing. It's more of a TV series, and then I've got a feature film that is more in the dramedy area, which does somewhat dive into some mental health, but it's not the basis of the story. So but yeah, I've got two things that I'm currently working on that hopefully 2021's looking up for me, so I can get to them.
Excellent. Yeah. Owen, I know you're going through a transition with all the fitness now, so give us some details about this journey.
Well, that particular aspect of my journey is very much related to the John Wick-like project that JR mentioned. So while I do have a number of different projects, different genres coming up down the road, that's perhaps going to be one of the more immediate ones. And so I'm putting myself through training and transition into this character, and just having fun developing this new guy. And I'm going to be compelled to be restrained because the writer director is here. So I can only say so much, but it's going to be a blast. I'm sure it's going to be an absolute great project to be a part of.
I gotta send a before and after picture, like before you on Marcus, and then after you right now, because people are gonna be like.
Make sure we get the Bernie Sanders sitting in the corner as well, because I know.
I should have. Oh man, now you killed me. I should have had that as my virtual background. Just oh man, I would have won the internet.
Buddy. Oh, good old Bernie.
So where can our viewers go to find out more about Marcus and about yourselves? It's your time to plug yourself.
Yeah, I mean, we're on Facebook, or on Twitter, or on Instagram. Facebook is Marcus the Movie, or at Marcus the Movie. Instagram and Twitter is Marcus_film, and we pretty active on it. I spend way too much time on it, to be honest with you. I'll spend 7 hours just trying to do one post, and I'm like, oh, and I'm getting frustrated. I start sweating, and I'm like, all right, is this perfect enough? And so, you know, if you follow us there, you'll see where we're at and where you can see the film and all that.
Amazing. Great stuff.
Yeah, and you can find me through the same source that JR just referenced, or just go on Facebook and put in my name, Owen Miller, or an IMDb, and you can reach out to me that way.
Perfect.
And we're both very good at responding. I mean, within an hour, we're basically responding to people. I've had plenty of people that have seen the short a couple of years ago that still message me through these, and not just to say, hey, can you help me? Literally, how are you doing today? Like, are you feeling down? Do you need to talk? I'm a phone call away. And people, strangers that I don't know that followed us, they're just checking in on me, which is pretty great.
That's amazing. That connection that you build is so important, and and it's great to have people like yourself that are able to just connect with them. There's a lot of people that be like, right, I'm in my space, I can't connect with them, but this welcoming fact that someone could message you and say, hey, how you doing? Are you okay? I think that's what brings us as worlds. We're such worlds apart, but that brings us together. So it's amazing to have that reach out. Yeah. Well, we wanted to congratulate you once again for being selected for Paris International Film Festival. Again, we cannot wait for viewers to watch the movie, and again, we'll be putting your information out there just so that they can get in touch and follow you and your upcoming major projects, which we are excited about as well. So thank you once again, JR and Owen, for being a guest on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mel. Thank you, Rita. Very much grateful.
A distraction. It's the thing I look for every damn minute of every day.
A broken man, some see.
It's what stops my mind from wandering into places I hate being.
I need something from you by tomorrow, Marco. If not, I have to get you out of here.
You'll probably blame everything.
You're definitely not feeling well, are you?
When was the last time you saw Gabby?
Just last week, and she's fine, no thanks to you.
Did you guys know that Gabby is pregnant? Need to find her, man. Any chance you know where I should be looking?
Oh, I am worthless. I am hopeless. I'm just ashamed what's become of me.
Why are you here? Why now?
You know I didn't leave because of you, right?
Right. You left because of you. Or mom. Or money. Or your friends, or lack thereof, or whatever. You left at a time when a girl needs her father the most. You left me.
I was ashamed, Gabby. I was ashamed of who I was. I was ashamed of what I had become.
Hey, man, you okay?
Shut up! All of you!
Oh, I'm not worthless.
You really doing this?
What choice do we have?
Oh, I'm not worthless.
We hope you enjoyed the show. Stay tuned for more Rhyme Entertainment Showcase.